Magandang umaga po mga kaibigan. Good morning and welcome to another edition of our Wednesday Roundtable at LIDO. Marami po ang pag-uusapan ngayon. Maraming mahalagang paksa. Una, gusto ko rin malaman kung ano ba ang pinakahuli sa ating sakahan. Ano ba ang pinakahuli sa mga produktong nabibili? May proteksyon ba ang ating mga kababayan? Paano malalaman kung original ang gamot o falsifikado? Sa dami ng ating mga daungan at mga legal at illegal na daungan, paano to? So this morning, we're joined by Director Engineer Roy Abaya of the Department of Agriculture, representing Secretary Willie Dar. Kasama rin po natin si Ginoong Jess Varela, Chairman ng GSI, Director General ng International Chamber of Commerce Philippines. We're joined by Ms. Jeanette Hacosalem, ang Chief Business Officer for 1PH ng Zwelig Pharma at isa rin pong trustee ng Pharmaceutical and Healthcare Association of the Philippines. At kasama rin natin mula sa Pampanga, kasama po natin mga kaibigan, si Marilu Olalia Uy. Siya po ang Assistant Vice President ng McKinney Food Products. We'd like to acknowledge the good nasa linya rin po naman at makakasama natin, baka mahinga natin ang inputs mamaya. So let's start with our good friend, Engineer Director Roy Abaya. Kumusta po ang ating mga sakahan matapos humagupit ang bagyong si Rolly? Give us the update, please.
Ay, ulit, magandang umaga po, Sir Melo. So, dito po sa Department of Agriculture. Sa kasalukuyan po ay ina-assess natin yung mga damages na nangyari nitong magkasunod na bagyo na malalakas. Actually, yung mga ina-assess namin ngayon yung mga tama epekto nitong bagyong Quinta at saka yung Super Typhoon Rolly. Sa kasalukuyan po, meron po tayong initial assessment na isasubmit. This is hindi pa final po ito dahil magkasunod. Yung Quinta, nung sinisimulan mag-assess, dumating itong Rolly. Sa ngayon po, meron po tayong data na sa Rolly, sa Quinta muna, unahin ko yung Quinta, meron pong kabuuang 88,000 hectares ang affected areas and a total volume loss of mga various commodities na po ito. Rice, basically rice ang malaki rito, 65% and about 24% ang high value. So 2.56 billion na po yung na-assess natin na losses dito sa Typhoon Quinta. Sa Rolly naman, ang affected areas, 27,000 hectares. Volume ng losses ng mga various commodities, 117,000 metric tons. Umaabot na po ng 2 billion. So, yung dalawang bagyo, umaabot ng 4.56 billion ang total losses na po natin. And malaki po rito, around 60% is rice sa palay natin and around another 30, almost 30% sa high-value commodities.
Sa ganito pong pagkakataon, anong impact sa produksyon ng bagyong ito? Kulang na nga tayo sa supply ng bigas. Ano po ang nakikita ninyong epekto nito?
Actually po sa bigas, sabi ko nga yun ang pinakamalaking tinamaan. Very minimal po ito kumpara sa ating overall target. Actually, hindi naman po tayo nagkukulang sa bigas ngayon. In fact, sa projection natin, yung supply natin by end of the year, mayroon tayong surplus na equivalent na nagre-range ng around 102 to 110 days na supply. So, meron po tayong sobra talaga sa bigas. Ngayon, kung i-convert natin po itong damages sa bigas o sa palay na around 170,000 metric tons yung affected na volume, kumpara po ito sa total na projected na harvest natin for this year na around almost 21 million metric tons. 0.8% lang po ito, Sir Melo. So very, very negligible po ito. Dahil maganda naman yung naging natin for the past few months, ito lang talaga na nagkaroon ng mga bagyo. But comparing sa total na projected harvest natin, is, sabi ko, is less than 1%. So dapat sufficient pa rin tayo. We should be not worried sa supply ng bigas.
Ang problema po yata natin kahit sufficient yung supply natin yung ating mga kailangan sa buffer stock. Sapagkat unang-una na bumibili tayo sa Vietnam. Yung Vietnam tinamaan din ng sunod-sunod na bagyo. Hindi po kaya tayo mahirapan dito?
Sa ngayon po, meron din pong tayong inventaryo sa ano. Actually, yung mga lahat pala ng mga tinamaan ay mayroon tayong mga ready na reserves, mga seed. Bibigyan natin sila para mabawi nila yung mga losses nila. Ngayon sa inventaryo ngayon ng NFA na naka-preposition po ito sa mga lugar ng mga tinamaan ng bagyo, mayroon po silang yung latest report nila as of yesterday, mayroong 4,263 bags na rice na naka-position po ito. So ready po nating ipamigay ito sa mga through our partner DSWD, other mga LGUs na mag-avail nito. So pwede po nilang ma-avail itong mga inventory ng rice po na naka-position na sa mga affected areas.
Karaniwan po merong mga inuutos na price freeze. Nasusunod po ba ito sapagkat nariyan pa rin naman yung law of supply and demand?
Definitely, Sir Melo. So dahil ngayon may mga kalamidad, mag-i-impose talaga tayo ng mga price freeze and nakikipag-coordinate po tayo talaga sa mga local price coordinating council, mga region, mga probinsya na binabantayan po natin to and dapat walang magsamantala pag ganitong may mga kalamidad.
Okay. Salamat po, Director. Mamaya na pabalikan natin yung issue na yan tungkol sa ating supply. Pero kasama rin po natin si Janet Hacosalem mula sa Pharmaceutical and Healthcare Association of the Philippines. How would we know that our products that being sold in the market are original at hindi ito yung mga peke at yung mga falsifikado? Yes, Janet.
Okay. Good morning ho, Sir Melo. Good morning. Very pleased to be invited again to your show. No, I'm representing Zulig Pharma. If you know Zulig Pharma, we're a national distributor for pharmaceutical products. We actually also have digital and commercial services that we offer to customers and clients. The task of making medicines available is actually our number one mission. In fact, our purpose really is to make quality healthcare accessible to every Filipino. Even during calamities and pandemics like COVID, in spite of the fact that it's actually been really very challenging the past few months. I'm also here representing PHAP, as you mentioned earlier, Sir Melo, the Pharmaceutical Healthcare Association of the Philippines. It's an organization which is the forefront of research and development efforts for medicines, vaccines, and tests for COVID-19. As manufacturers and distributors, we do take counterfeiting very seriously. In fact, we're actually, the industry really is in the position to be able to identify what's real versus the fake medicines. And I think that's the name that goes with the Zulig Pharma name. When we're delivering medicines to our customers, the drugstores and the hospitals, our customers are assured that the medicines that we give them are real. No, they're not the fake and counterfeit medicines. On the other hand, we know that this is a serious problem and this is reality. At Zulig Pharma, we've actually built a number of solutions to help patients, in fact, identify whether the medicines that they're taking are counterfeit or are authentic. So we already are working on a blockchain technology using the serial numbers on the medicines. Usually we focus on vaccines for this type of solution, no, Sir Melo, where the patient scans the barcode or the serial code on the product, and the system, the app is already able to tell them whether that drug is counterfeit or real or authentic. But yes, counterfeiting is a global concern and it's actually really everybody's business. FDA encourages people to report as soon as they find out that counterfeit medicines are being distributed, and we support that. We support that drive.
Yeah.
So
So the reason I ask is Filipinos are known innovators, whether we like it or not. Ano? Maglakad ka lang sa Claro M Recto, andyan na yung mga namimeke hanggang sa passport at iba pa. Baka yung barcodes magaya rin ng ating mga kababayan. What assurance have we?
So it's a two-step process that we work on, Sir Melo. The barcode, actually, because it's supported by blockchain, we have a way, in fact, of checking all the way to the supplier of the raw material of that product. So if they make a fake barcode, the system detects that. Secondly, the barcode that we attach to the product has what we call a fingerprint. So yung fingerprint to, hindi siya kayang i-photocopy. Even if you photocopy the barcode, that fingerprint, because it's almost naked to the eye, but the system is able to detect it, yun yung mahirap ma-counterfeit.
Okay, okay. Now, do you have scanners in the Philippines for people to know whether these are original products?
The system already works on your cell phone. So if your cell phone is able to take a picture, then you're able to read the barcode. And with the app, you can actually already see, or you're informed whether the product that you hold is authentic or counterfeit. In fact, we go all the way into checking if it is a cross-border or a parallel import product, a product that's not intended for the Philippines.
Okay. Pardon my ignorance, but I know there are products, let's say, made in a country. Kung in-order nung kumpanya 1,000, ang gagawin nung manufacturer 2,000. Yung 1,000 will go to the entity na nag-order. Yung 1,000 will get into the gray market. Do you have such a thing in the drug and pharmaceutical and healthcare products?
I cannot speak for the pharma companies that we're not the distributor. But what I can assure you, the clients that MDI and Metro Drug and Zulig Pharma in the Philippines have, they don't do such a thing. Our clients are fully compliant. We follow the international standards of WHO, the local FDA standards. We make sure that together with our clients, we're fully compliant to that. So I can assure you, the medicines that we distribute, we do not do that.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the assurance. Jess Varela, good morning. You're with GS1. Tell us about GS1. Ano ba ito? Ano ba ang ginagawa ng inyong opisina o ng inyong kumpanya? Jess, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning sa lahat. No? Ang GS1 ay isang organisasyon. Kalakip, ang GS1 Philippines, kalakip ng isang malaking samahan ng 114 countries na tumutupad sa isang standard. No? Ito, kami ang GS1 Philippines ang nag-i-issue ng tunay na barcode, lalong-lalo na doon sa mga cross-border trade. Sa katunayan nga, ang pharmaceuticals, ang grupo namin ay miyembro ng aming GS1 Philippines, and they're the one of the staunchest supporters of the standards. Nag-umpisa itong GS1 para malaman nga yung mga traders, they were trying to see ano bang pwedeng gawin na para malaman kung ano yung mga uri ng mga produkto. No? Started from cross-border trades within US, Europe, hanggang sa naisip nga ito yung international article numbers na nag-identify ng mga iba't ibang mga produkto at kanyang mga uri. No? So it became, over the years, there were a number of meetings, discussions, until they adopted one standard, lalo dito sa mga, to make to ensure the consumer safety and protection no, through the empowerment of consumers, through the information that can be taken out of these products and companies. Second, it's to ensure the visibility of the supply chain. Kaya nga yung napag-usapan na nga to nung umpisa, ang GS1 para padaliin lang yung checkout sa POS, no? Hanggang na-develop itong mga standards na to. Ano ba itong mga standards? Ginamit ang barcode. No, dahil diyan sa barcode na yan, pag nakikita mo yung sa ilalim ng linya, yung makikita mo yung image ng barcode, may mga numero. Yung unang 3 numero, yung 480, ibig sabihin nun, ay galing sa Pilipinas. Tapos may susunod na 3 numero, yun yung numero identifying yung kumpanya. It's a company prefix. Tapos meron tinatawag yung susunod ng mga numero, yung tinatawag na GT, Global Trade Item Number, that identifies the product. And when scanned, it will probably open to a database, makikita mo yung produkto mo. Mahalaga na sangkap upang mabigyan yung mga consumers ng power to know what they're buying before they do go to that POS.
Okay.
No? Nakakapili sila.
Okay. Anong produkto yung meron ng ganitong barcodes?
Halos lahat ng produkto. Sa totoo lang, no, makikita mo sa mga supermarkets, lahat walang papasok sa mga retail outlets tsaka sa mga groceries, supermarkets kung hindi naka-barcode. No? Dahil nga ito ginagamit sa POS. Kami ngayon, what we're trying to advocate right now is the full implementation of what should be inside those numbers. And that's why we've been trying to work out and call companies to input data to their products. At marami na ang sumusunod niyan. Sa katunayan, meron kaming mga 4,000 mga miyembro. Mas malaki yan before the COVID. Siguro kasama sa mga nagsara, bumagsak ng mga nawalan kami ng mga 1,000 mga miyembro na sumusunod dito sa mga barcode. Kung titingnan mo, parang napaka-komplikado yung barcode. Pero hindi magugulat ka sa palagay mo sa bansang China. Sinusunod ito. Yung kailangan meron kang barcode, meron kang GTIN, lahat yan. No? Walang papasok ngayon sa kahit anong goods or products sa China kung hindi meron ito. At magugulat ka, ang Pilipinas sa mga produktong pumapasok sa China, we are the second most compliant after New Zealand.
Really?
Kaya maraming sumusunod. Ang aming tinutulak lamang at hinihingi nga namin suporta ng gobyerno, na kasi sa ibang bansa sinusuportahan ng gobyerno itong standards ito. Dahil milyon-milyon ng miyembro all over the world na sumusunod dito. Alam mo, dyan mo, pag ito sinuportahan ng gobyerno at ang ilang mga bagay-bagay nito ay isinama sa mga batas, maniwala ka yung tinasabi mo kaninang mga counterfeiting, malaking mawawala dyan kasi ma-identify mo As a matter of fact, you can trace. The GTIN also allows you to trace from the source all the way to the consumers. Nakakaingit nga sa ibang parte ng Europa, yung mga hospital, kuha nila lahat mula sa factory hanggang sa pasyente. At sino yung mga nag-administer, alam nila sino. Scan lang ng scan yan Makikita mo yan. Everything is visible.
Okay.
Isipin mo kung nagagawa dito yan sa atin, ang proteksyon ng mga pasyente, mga consumers, nandiyan. Tulad nandito yung mga kasama natin sa DA. Alam mo, yung mga diseases, yung mga African swine flu, yung bird flu, avian flu, kung meron tayong sistemang ganito, nalalaman natin kaagad kung anong parte ang tinatamaan. Kung naalala mo, tinamaan tayo ng avian flu sa Nueva Ecija, pinagpapapatay natin lahat yung mga manok. Isipin mo kung tayo yung naka-product coding, at itong mga numero to unique ito malalaman mo kung saan napunta, saan nanggaling, at dun lang ang ka-quarantine mo. ang laking savings.
Masasayang yung ibang produkto, right?
At siguro dahil dito McKinney, no? Siguro matatanong mo McKinney, tinamaan ng swine flu McKinney pero naayos sila kagad. Nagulat nga binanggit ni Secretary Dar sa isang kasamahan namin sa chamber na nagulat siya sa ganda ng sistema ng McKinney dahil meron siyang traceability.
Okay.
Nalaman niya saan galing yung mga pork na infected, anong warehouse, saan dinala, anong mga grocery, madaling ang na-pull out. At siya'y bumalik sa negosyo kagad.
Aha. Okay. Siguro bago ko tawagin si Marilu, I'd like to share a short video. It's about barcoding, no? So let's have it. Asan na ba 'yon? Eto. Subukan natin mga kaibigan. I hope it works. Ayaw pa. Ayaw pang gumalaw. Sige, mamaya lang konti siguro. Ayaw pa. Marilu, from McKinney. Where are you, Marilu? Yan, good morning. Ano experience ng McKinney sa barcode?
Okay, good morning po sa ating lahat, and Brother Melo, thank you for inviting us here. Siguro po, I'll take off from the statement of Sir Jess, no? Actually, we're member of GS1, sir. And yes, we are using the barcode po sa product identification natin. Although currently may limitations pa po, we use the barcode dun po sa first level na sinabi kanina ni Sir Jess, yung sa POS system when we offer our products to the retail market. Yun po yung purpose ng barcode sa atin. And from what I understand, coming from the inputs from our manufacturing and the ICT, may next level pa pong improvement, no, para po ma-tie up yung company's program on product traceability. Yes, it's right. We have a product traceability program. Requirement po kasi siya ng ISO certification natin under Food Safety System certification. Kailangan po merong way yung company to trace saan ang yung raw materials niya, yung ingredients na ginagamit, kailan ginawa, processing up to the consumer side. So may backward and forward product traceability program po tayo. So currently, we input everything in our system. May system po yung company in order to trace that. Yung pong sinasabing second level na sinabi kanina ni Sir Jess, yun po yung nakaka-interest, no, na makita, wherein instead na having a separate system, ililink mo lang yung barcode mo, and that would already give you the entire information of the product. According to our manufacturing, parang kailangan pa po na parang mayroon pang missing link between our forward and backward traceability program at saka po yung barcode system. Kasi may mga operations po kami na hindi pa siya automatic na ibabox. Kasi if you do, we're producing like average 60,000 kilos of finished goods on a daily basis. So if you do barcoding system, you put all of these things into system, medyo tedious po if you will do 60,000. So there has to be a system wherein every time na lumalabas from the production, yung output na product, madali po siya kasi naka-bulk pack na po siya. So actually po, I received the invitation of GS1, no? They're trying to introduce to us the system, and we're supposed to meet. I checked my communication. I think that was February 21. Kaya lang po medyo natamaan din po kami ng pandemic. We had to cancel twice yung series of meeting namin because we wanted to understand ano po itong program na to, kasi I know there is an investment on our side, but we wanted to see yung efficiency and of course to also improve pa rin yung traceability program namin. Tama po si Sir Jess, no? With what we experienced last year when our company decided to do voluntary withdrawal, no? voluntary, hindi po ni-require ng government, but because our concern is to make sure na kung totoo man, we can check on our product. So yun po, it was a bit easier for us kasi nga po may sistema kami up to the customer side. What lot codes, kailan na-produce, sinong nag-package ng produktong yon at saan siya napunta. And we can say na EXO and so and so products, ito po galing ito sa nasa outlet na to. So yun po, yun po yung internal system natin, but of course we wanted to marry the barcode technology with our internal system. Probably the same level ng implementation as shared kanina po ng Zulig Pharma.
Okay. This is very encouraging. At least we will know. Pag nagpunta ako sa supermarket, alam ko kung ano yung produkto at kung saan nagmula. Let me try our video this time. Baka sakali, ano? Teka, subukan ko lang. Baka uubra na. Teka, ito na nga ba? Alright. Sandali po. Yun. Yun pala. Okay. That's it.
What do you think of when you see this? A barcode? No more, no less. It's often taken to be just a price tag, but it has many other uses. With a barcode, you can find out if what's on your plate is really what it's claimed to be. A barcode will make sure you won't be fooled by pirates. And what about the terrace you're building at home? Are those planks fully legit? They're not from the rainforest, or are they? The code helps you keep track of your parcel all the way. After all, there are several million parcels on the move every day. What's more, you can track the cotton from the cotton fields all the way to the shop, so you know that everything along the supply chain is handled correctly. You probably don't know who we are, but one thing's for sure. We help make your life easier, more secure, and more sustainable. GS1, the global language of business.
All right, so that's the video. Okay, maliwanag. Jess, available ito yan sa agricultural products natin in the Philippines para matanong ko rin si Director Roy mamaya.
Hindi, nagkausap kami minsan ni Secretary Dar, no? Because we do training and seminar, no? And for those who do not have the infrastructure, we can support them. They can subscribe to us because we have the infrastructure for this, no? And we can help them. May data banking din kami ng lahat ng mga produkto. As a matter of fact, from our members, we have more than 700,000 products no? In our data bank. Ang gusto lang namin dito, sana ma-adapt din ng mga gobyerno. Kasi hindi lang naman ito para sa consumer products, lalo na ngayon na there is a proliferation of several products in the internet, no? So the different e-marketplaces. No, maraming dyan mga substandard or counterfeit. Now, how do you protect the consumers? No, and there are ways to do it, and using these particularly standards of GS1, no, which is acceptable and being practiced all over the world. No, madali na yon. Kung ginagawa natin domestically yan, you know, even in these e-marketplaces, you can just imagine you are in a platform of reputable companies and reputable products. It's easier for you to be interconnected and to be more interoperable with other platforms across borders. Kaya kami naman, yung mga ibang kumpanya na humihingi ng tulong, tinetrain namin kung paano ayusin ito. Tulad ng binanggit ng McKinney, ready kaming makipag-usap kasi hindi lang ito makakatulong sa negosyo, no? But more importantly, it's all about consumer safety and protection.
Tama yun. Pero katulad yan, Pag ako nauutusan na mamalengke sa supermarket, nakikita ko yung mga may barcodes na. Okay? Maliwanag yan. Pero what about small businesses katulad nung karaniwang magsasaka who will sell products? Anong SOP?
Kaya nagtayo kami ng kaya tinayo namin ang aming infrastruktura para makatulong doon sa mga micro and small to start out. Because the idea is, alam namin na we're into that path towards digitalization. Yung mga iba, lalo na yung mga maliliit, kaya kung pwede namin tulungan yon, tinuturuan namin, tinetrain namin, at kung kinakailangan, yung aming munang infrastruktura, kung gusto nila, magamit nila. These are the things, but what we're trying to work out here is some government support domestically. Kasi nakikita ko nga, tulad ng sinabi ko, pagdating sa cross-border, dahil ito required ng mga gobyerno, tulad na-postpone lang sa Europe by July 1, dapat January 1, lahat ng parcel dapat naka-product identification na. Pati yung kanilang tinatawag na serial shipping company code, nandoon na yan for the logistics. Ang Amerika will institute also by next year, hindi lang ang mga produkto untraceable. Ang nilabas na regulasyon ng FDA ng US last month, now we are in the process of discussions, pati yung mga dokumento, gusto nila traceable na rin, especially on marine products, the fish, the meat, the vegetables, and some fruits. The idea of which came about because of the pandemic. Baka datnan pa ng mga ibang kwan. Kaya yung FDA, US FDA, pumasok na that in 120 days thereafter, they will implement even the traceability not only of the products, but all documents.
Okay.
So, nakikita ko na, dyan na Melo eh. Dyan ang punta natin eh. Ngayon, pag pumunta ka ng grocery, kulang-kulang ang data. So it's not, we have to update the data, and that's the reason why we're trying to help them out through our infrastructure. Kung kulang-kulang yung mga yan, tulungan natin. Kung meron naman sila, tuturuan natin.
Okay. Pero alam mo, babalik ako doon sa binanggit mo na kailangan natin ng mga batas at iba pa. Pero ang ultimate test dyan ay yung sa Rotary Club, yung 4-way test. Doon yata sa pang-apat na tanong, meron ba ako dyan? Okay ba paghahatian natin? Baka yun ang problema, kaya walang maipasang batas. Number 2, binanggit mo rin yung sa marine products. Nakadalo ako ng isang pagpupulong nung panahon pa ni Secretary Manny Piñol ng Department of Agriculture, at may binabanggit na may mga unreported fishing, yung mga nahuhuling isda na hindi na iuulat. Yan ba matitrace sa tulong ng inyong technology kung sakali?
Oo. Kasi let's say, one, ang WCO, the World Customs Organization, tinanggap ang mga standards na to at kinakausap din ng mga ibang custom agencies na mapasanib. Kasi nakikita mo yan from the manufacturer side or the farm. Makikita mo yung traceability nga. Malalaman mo kaagad ang klase ng produkto at kung saan galing. Kasi meron din tinatawag na GLN, yung Global Location Number. Makikita mo kung yan ang rehistrado. Tulad sa Department of Agriculture, pag pinag-usapan natin ang Cara beef, ina-inspect nila yan bago nila accredit So makukuha mo na yung mga location, makikita mo na kung lalagyan natin ang product coding ito from the different batches. Pagdating dito, alam mo kung saan galing. Para kung merong mga iba, pag tinignan mo galing sa ibang hindi rehistradong address o location, alam mo hindi accredited yan. Palusot yan. Palusot.
Okay.
There are ways. I think we should now start thinking of doing this domestically.
Okay.
Kasi nandiyan na nakikita naman natin, kaya pupunta ka ng grocery, ang problema mo, hindi kompleto ang data. Kunyari kung cosmetics, ang ganda, kasi pag scan mo, nandoon pati yung allergens eh. Naalala mo yung mga nabibili sa mga ibang shopping, gray shopping areas ng mga cosmetics, nagreklamuhan, nagpuputukan ng labi, mga pisngi. Because hindi empowered ang tao mamili kung anong mga ingredients ginamit diyan.
Tama.
Oh.
Tama. Naalala ko yan.
Again, it's the empowerment of the consumers. And everything is made easy because of digitalization.
Okay. You know? All right. Maganda yan. Balikan ko lang si Director. Yung po ba mga agricultural products natin, do we have an inventory kung sakali kung saan sila nanggagaling? Director? Yes, please.
Yes po. Alam natin naman may yung agricultural marketing
Opo.
Natin, meron silang mga listahan niya saan yung mga major commodity. Ay, okay po ba, Sir Melo? Mukhang putol-putol. Mahina yung signal namin.
Medyo ganun na po. Baka dumaan sa bidding yung signal nyo. Kaya...
ito. Medyo kanina umiikot-ikot.
Okay.
Actually, yun nga po, sabi ko sa mga regional offices natin, meron tayong agricultural marketing assistance division. So, alam po nila yan, yung mga kung saan yung mga
Opo.
Produkto ng galing, monitor nila yan. And then, pati kung saan dinadala, kung saan binabagsak yung mga produkto.
Okay.
Wow.
Oo nga pala. Director, bago ko makalimutan, may pinahabol nga pala sa akin yung isang kaibigan ko sa Bicol, may kinalaman sa bagyo. You may as well daw consider baka sakaling palawakan ninyo yung inyong crop insurance para hindi naman nauuwi sa kawawa ang mga magsasaka. Probably you can mention it in your management committee meeting with Secretary Dar na isa sa mga mungkahi yung crop insurance. Ano po ngayon?
Yes, Sir Melo. Actually, yung crop insurance, hindi naman talaga nako-cover lahat dahil limited lang din yung pondo nila. Pero malaki na rin po yung nasakop nila ngayon. Sa ngayon, meron silang standby na 100 billion para lang dito sa dalawang kalamidad. So this can cover already 100,000 farmers. At on the average sa mga 10,000 ang minimigay, although depende, minsan nakaka-claim sila as much as 15,000 per farmer, depende sa laki ng lupa nila. So yan po naman ay kailangan rehistrado kang farmer bago ka maka-avail. RSBSA registered ka, so in-encourage namin lahat yung mga farmers natin magparehistro sa RSBSA.
Good. All right, so may pag-asa pala. Janet, sa larangan ng pharmaceutical products, nabanggit ni Jess yung tungkol doon sa pagrerehistro at GS1, ano ang measures pa natin para malaman ng publiko to distinguish kung alin talaga yung pwedeng asahan?
Ang lahat po ng, first and foremost, PHAP is actually a member of GS1. And all our clients, lalo na yung nag-import ng products into the Philippines, are actually also members of GS1. Even in our own warehouse, we actually use GS1 kasi it's not only for detecting counterfeit medicines. It actually supports, for example, the management of first expiry, first out. So marami actually talagang uses ang barcode. You support your digital systems with the proper implementation of first expiry, first out, dito mo ma-avoid that you end up with expiring medicines in your warehouse. So we hear the stories around yung mga expiring medicines nga na nasa DOH. If there is a proper system supported by the barcodes, you actually can avoid medicines expiring in your warehouse.
Okay. Jeanette, I wouldn't want to believe that they just focus on the first word, no? Well, barcode are 2 words, baka nasa bar lang, o nasa code. You know? Baka ganun lang. Anyway, we're joined by Dr. Ted Herbosa. Ted, pakibukas lang nung video. We'd like to see you too. And ano yung thoughts mo tungkol dito sa latest na paggamit ng technology para mapakinabangan ng taong bayan? Good morning. Welcome. Yes.
Good morning and good morning to everybody. Yes. Classmate Jess. Classmate ko yan sa San Beda. Anyway, matalino sa akin yan. Anyway, tama no? All the use of technology is very important. Lalo nang ito, we've talked about so many medicines and vaccines that expired in the DOH. And that's really the main problem. The logistics and supply management has been, the boxes get up end of the warehouse, the first deliveries, and they're the ones that will expire soon. And the later boxes end up as the later ones that are distributed to the provinces. If we had this blockchain or barcode system, maa-avoid yan na yung malapit na mag-expire tsaka ibibigay near the date of expiry. Or sometimes naabutan talaga ng expiry. So this is very important, lalo na dun sa mga drugs and vaccines that have very short shelf life. Yung tinatawag na short shelf life, mga 6 na buwan lang, kailangan nagamit mo na. And when you have big programs and big purchases, that is a waste of millions of government funds. So tama itong technology na dapat ma-adapt na by all system, local health systems, the national government, and even hospitals.
Yeah. Ted, kaya ko kasi naisip itong bagay na ito, katulad niyan, yung iyong kasama, si Secretary Galvez, na-appoint na vaccine czar.
Tama.
Sa mga problema, yung paglalagyan ng mga freezers, no? Matagal lang pinag-uusapan sa Malacanang press conferences. Kung katulad nito, meron kang GS1 marking, meron kang inventaryo, kung wala ka namang facilities, ano mangyayari doon sa bakuna mo na isusupply ng mga drug companies? What will happen to them?
Well, we have started to talk, no? Si Secretary Galvez and I have started to talk. Swilig, for example, we have talked with some of their principals about being able to use their cold chain supply, which is already existing. Mas mabilis po yun kaysa magbibili pa ang government ng kanilang cold chain system. Hindi aabot yon yung procurement noon, yung ano. So it's better to engage the private sector, and the private sector that already has this in their supply chain management system for the different drugs that need refrigeration and cold chain.
Yeah.
So I think it's already there. All we need is to partner with the private sector.
Yeah, if I remember right, there's a bright idea from a bright lawmaker. Itap daw yung mga may sorbetisan para magamit yung freezer. I don't know whether it will work because it is not that simple, Jess. And then, di ba?
Yung sa ano kasi, yung sa vaccines, very technical yung ano. You can ask our colleague from Zuilig here. Kasi naka-record yon, parang blockchain din yon. When you transport the box, yung temperature noong vaccine, may record yon, may track record yon. Whether dumaan yun, nasiraan yung truck, yung temperature niya, kung ano yung fluctuation, has record. So yung validity noong vaccine will be knowledgeable to the people who will assess. Ano ba to? Matagal bang nainit sa araw to? Nawala ba yung cold chain at a particular point? Nawalan ba ng kuryente? Nahinto? So merong record yun. And that's also computerized. I think it uses also blockchain. Maybe she can explain that because our colleagues in Swilig were explaining that system that is already existing.
Okay. Pero siguro as a precautionary measure, kung may bakuna na, huwag nyo idadaan sa EDSA. Right? Baka mawala ng business.
Ako ang thinking ko dito sa bakuna is a very complex implementation. The vaccines, okay, ma-approve siya phase 3 in March or April next year. Pero the process to get the injection to the individual is a complex one. Yun yung mahirap. In fact, kailangan pa natin bumili ng mga paraphernalia, yung mga syringe, yung hiringgilya, yung karayom, yung alcohol, yung bulak, yung tao na ite-train na mag-i-inject. So kailangan gawin mo yon even before ma-approve pa yung vaccine. Kasi by the time ma-approve yan at dineliver yan, kailangan meron ka ng cold storage warehouse, kailangan may transport capability ka na, alam mo na yung timing, hindi pa. So madaming kailangan gawin. So I think that's why it's actually good that they took a general kasi parang gera din yung immunization program. There are so many moving parts in it to do an immunization program.
Yeah.
From supply chain storage to delivery, and on time yan kasi may petsa yan na available yung mga mag-i-inject, available yung mga health center, or available kung saan gagawin. So it's a massive logistics and supply management study. Actually, sabi nga nila parang eleksyon, sabi ni General Galvez, di ba? Para siyang eleksyon, yung mga balota, dadalhin mo sa COMELEC. So ganun yung analogy niya.
Okay.
And kailangan din natin not only the private sector, pati military, yung mga aeroplano ng Air Force and other logistics transports will have to be used as well. Kasi meron massive yan eh. Kasi ang gusto ng president, pa-injection ng lahat.
Okay. Yes.
Alam mo, Melo,
yung Janet, yes, please.
Melo, kasi tulad ng mga vaccines na yan, mga bakuna yan, galing sa labas yan, either China, US, o sa Europe man lang, o yung sa Moderna, sa USA.
O yung
lahat
sa Russia. Oo,
lahat yan, yung mga yung bansang yan, ay ginagamit ang product coding. No? Kaya kung tayo sasakay doon sa ganung standard at gagawin din natin doon sa mga hahawak dito, naka-coded din yung mga tao, yung mga institusyon, ospital, no? Mate-trace mo, you make the entire supply chain visible. Kaso, sila lang ang sumusunod, tayo hindi natin sinusunod, hindi natin talagang mababasa lahat. No? Kaya itong teknolohiyan to, naririto, no, gawin din natin para sino man ang tatanggap, no, sino man ang mag-a-administer, no, hanggang doon sa tao mismo mate-trace mo. Makikita mo lahat yan. Kaya kinakailangan sumakay tayo sa isang standard na ginagamit ng ibang mga bansa.
Okay. Janet, mula sa pharma. Yes, please.
So, tama actually si Sir Jess, no? Sir Melo. The medicines, number one, or specific to the vaccine, number one, we expect it's usually short expiry. So 6 months lang ho usually ang shelf life ng bakuna. So importante na pagdating dito sa Pilipinas, it's well managed kasi otherwise you end up with expired vaccines. And these vaccines are expensive. So ayaw mo na ma-expirean ka ng vaccine sa warehouse mo. And yes, the barcode actually really enables the tracking of the expiry dates. Our system is already able to do that. Kaya in fact, when we, for example, dispatch the vaccines, we always make sure na yung first expiry or yung pinakaunang mag-expire, yun yung una naming nilalabas. And then when it leaves the warehouse, we also make sure that it's properly packed. So kunwari yung mga -70, -80 degrees na bakuna na kailangan ng ganyan na temperature, it's necessary that you keep the same temperature even while it's in transit. So kahit isakay mo siya sa aeroplano, isakay mo siya sa truck, it needs to be packed properly. So we use dry ice, we use ice gels. We have a special box that we put it into. For the -70, in fact, we use liquid nitrogen to make sure that you keep the temperature at -70 to -80. But on the other hand, tama yung sabi nyo kasi kung idadaan mo sa EDSA at ma-traffic, yung validation din kasi ng packaging namin is only up to 18 to 24 hours. And it's already beyond that, slowly magi-increase yung temperature kasi matutunaw yung dry ice mo, matutunaw yung liquid nitrogen. So the planning around the vaccination, Dr. Ted mentioned, needs to be very tight. The thing is, private already has all this technology in place. May infrastructure na. The scale lang will not be enough to accommodate if we want to do a one-time vaccination of, say, 20% of the population. Definitely hindi kaya yun nung existing warehouses natin. So we need to probably schedule when the vaccines come and when it's released for vaccination.
Okay.
But everything can be done with proper planning. And we're actually also very happy that it was Secretary Galvez that was named kasi we know he's really the chief implementer. He's really the right guy for the job. But
Okay.
we're also willing to support, no, if we're called on.
Okay. Pero yung tungkol dun sa mga freezers na binabanggit, have you identified freezers across the country na pwedeng pag-imbakan ng bakuna?
Iba-iba din ho kasi yung freezer requirement. You have 2 to 8 degrees. That one, you have capacity available. And we're already starting to build additional capacity. So the 2 to 8 degrees is relatively simpler. Hindi siya simple, but relatively simpler. And even our hospitals, our LGUs, sanay na sila dun sa 2 to 8 degrees kasi that's the normal range of temperature on the influenza vaccines. It becomes a bit more complicated when you go for -20. Yung -20 po, ang storage na pwede natin gamitin doon, we have reefer vans that we can rent. No? We have freezer rooms available already in our facility, but you can expand capacity via rented freezer vans. So tama kayo, like yung mga ginagamit, for example, ngayon pang store ng vegetables, pang store ng ice cream, pwede yon, except lang that you need to convert them to make them pharma grade. Kasi mahirap na ilagay mo yung medisina doon sa isang warehouse na kasama pagkain. It can potentially contaminate the vaccine. You can convert, but you need to put in the necessary disinfection, quality validation, temperature validation before you can use it for vaccines. It becomes more complicated when you go for the -70 to -80. Kasi that can only be complied with using medical grade freezers. Even with Zulig Pharma, we don't have enough capacity. We're already starting putting in our orders for additional freezers. But again, if we're talking about the scale na potentially yun yung ma-decide ng government, we will not have enough capacity. So again, that's where we need to really plan for COVID.
Okay. Babalikan ko ngayon si Director Abaya. Nasa field services siya ng agriculture. Meron din po kayong mga cold storages sa Department of Agriculture, di po ba? Ano ang kalidad nitong mga storage facilities na ito?
Actually, Camelo, karamihan naman sa mga cold storage, ino-operate ito ng mga private. Meron kaming mga binibigay, pero hindi comparable din sa mga malalaking cold storages. So, lahat po ito ay may standard. So, sumusunod po tayo sa mga standard dito mga cold storage. And dapat yung quality para ma-store mo yung mga goods doon, tatagal. Yun ang purpose ng cold storage. So,
yes.
Po.
Pero hindi freezer. Cold storage lang.
Cold storage po. Talagang cold storage, and may mini-maintain tayo na mga temperature doon, kung anong commodity ang ilalagay natin doon, anong produkto, para mapahaba natin yung buhay ng ating mga commodity products.
Okay. All right. This may be classified, Marilo, sa McKinney. Marami rin kayong freezer dyan na nakikita ko pag dumadalaw ako eh. Pero gaano kalaki yung mga freezer ninyo?
Okay. Sa company po, meron kaming sariling cold storage. This is accredited by the government. It has a capacity to store 1 million kilos of finished goods item. So, kagaya po na sabi ni Sir Robbie, meron po yan na standard na sinusundan in terms of the temperature requirement. And then aside from that, we have accredited depots. Ito po yung run by private institutions wherein pwede kang mag-rent sa kanila on a per kilo basis. These are scattered all over the country. So depende po, like if you want to make your goods nearer to your customer, so you can also avail of those services. So ano po siya, freezer, cold storage po talaga siya. And kung pong mga limbawa sensitive items, tama po si Miss Janet, meron naman po mga service providers that you can rent out. Ito po yung reefer container van wherein you can also monitor the temperature of this one. We usually use this whenever nasa peak season po tayo and then meron po tayong dispatching activity wherein kailangan po naka-standby na yung goods doon. So you can rent out that on a per month basis and then they will adjust the temperature based on your requirement. Example, for finished goods items, for frozen meat items, dapat po hindi bababa ng -18 ang temperature niyan. So the system of that reefer ban will be programmed based on your requirement and that will be monitored regularly. Iba po ito yung sa freezer na sinasabing dinidispatch natin on a per customer basis. Maliliit lang po yan, around 300 kilos lang po ang kayang i-store niya. But our own cold storage can store 1 million kilos production.
All right. Jess, mukhang logistics ang pag-uusapan natin ito, di ba? So, anong nakikita mo? You were once with, well, you're still with PCCI, you're still with ICC, and you once served as Undersecretary of the Department of Agriculture. What could be done? Anong doable?
Yes. Melo, sa totoo lang, alam mo, when we're talking about the supply chain, titingnan mo yung dulo, yung mga consumer. What the standards present, no? It presents an opportunity for those stakeholders in the supply chain, to be trusted and their products or services trusted. So working backwards, if the consumers are happy, every stakeholder in the chain will be happy and it will be good. Yan ang unang tinutulak namin, yung trust. Kasi nawawala yung trust sa produkto. Ngayon, itong standards sa amin tinutulak sa GS1, it helps the company. One, it helps them in efficient inventory management, elimination of identity theft, it's the promoting of their brands, enhancing relationships with their trading partners, kasi trustworthy yung sistema, At the same time, yung mga consumers ay nabibigyan ng, they're empowered, to make a choice, an informed choice, because data is being shared. The data, and that's what we're trying to work on with government, to require this data to be visible. And thirdly, nakikita nyo ngayon because of the pandemic, lahat ng malalaki lumiliit. Lumiliit, sumasama sa mga iba-ibang maliliit na mga e-marketplaces. At tatanong ko sa'yo, Melo, mahilig kang mamili sa internet. Meron ba nagbibigay siya ng resibo?
Wala.
Meron ba dumadaan ng POS dyan? Kahit yung mga malalaking lumiliit. Ang sistema ng revenue collection, lalo na ngayon, kinakailangan, mamimili tayo ng vaccine. Kailangan ng pera ang gobyerno. Malaking nawawala rin dito. Namomonitor din lahat ang mga transaction na to. Kasi we're trying to get everybody on board on a trustworthy platform. Ito mga bagay ito, it gives a number of benefits to everyone. So kung akalain nila, private sector lang yan, wala namang pakinabang ang gobyerno, meron din Like, it will also help them in detecting counterfeits. Yung mga substandards, tulad sa DTI, meron silang Bureau of Product Services doon. Madali na makita kung ano yung nasa standard natin, yung Philippine standards, no? At may implement natin to. Kaya kami sa chamber, it's all about sound business with happy consumers. No? And this system provides this opportunity.
Ted, I just have to ask you this. I just got this question from a viewer, Dr. Herbosa, with your indulgence.
Napuputol ba?
Yeah. Dr. Herbosa, yeah. The question is, bakuna yung pinag-uusapan. Ang sabi nung nagtatanong, what lessons have we learned from the Dengvaxia thing? Hindi na kaya maulit yun. Yun. Dr. Herbosa.
Ayan nga ang ina-advise ko, no, na the Dengvaxia was a rushed vaccine program. Very rushed. It was budgeted in December, implemented by April. So parang 3 buwan lang. Madaming, yung pag-implement yan, the vaccine itself has some benefit, no, according to the scientific studies. Pero hindi nalatag maigi yung program. In fact, they implemented it in April. Sabi nila, school-based program. Pinabalik yung mga bata sa school. So parang tapos na kasi yung school ng March eh. Pero in-implement yan April 1. So madaming naging problema. Tapos hindi matrack. So how will you able to track the complications of the vaccine kung school-based at yung mga bata nasa bakasyon? April, May is already vacation. So saan sila magre-report? Sa school nurse daw. Bakasyon eh. Walang school nurse. So nagkaraming problema. So it was a rushed program. I think we will learn from it. Of course, all failures help us become better. I think masyadong madali ang pinagawa doon. So ito, we have plenty of lead time. Ano pa lang ngayon, di ba? Actually, last 3 months ago, pinag-uusapan na yung bakuna, di ba? Sa IATF. And we already know about phase 3. We already know that after phase 3 is completed, hopefully by March, the orders will probably start coming in. So we have to work now on the whole program of immunization. Iba kasi yung having a vaccine and having an immunization program. I think hindi naintindihan ng mga tao that the immunization program is the more extensive program. Yung paaabutin mo sa consumer. Sabi nga ni Jess, yung kaklasiko, ang tingin mo, yung dulo noong bakuna, which is yung mga taong mababakunahan. At sabi nga, tina-target 20% of the population, 20 million yata yung ano. O paano mo gagawin yon? So yun yung challenge. Yun yung challenge na maplano, ma-operationalize at hindi magkabulilyaso from expired medicine to, di ba, yung nasira, di ba, nasira during transit, mga losses ng spillage when they withdraw the vaccine and all those things. Untrained personnel na hindi tama ang pagbigay, na dapat in-exclude, hindi binakunahan, dapat mapili mo yun, hindi kayo pwedeng bakuna, may komplikasyon kayo. So all of these are very important to set it up. So sana hindi nga maulit. Yun ang takot ko because this is a new vaccine. Many vaccines, pag na-discover na, maganda siya sa laboratory. Pero pag ginamit mo siya sa population, iba ang behavior niya.
Okay.
So may risk na gano'n. Marami tayong drugs na pull out. Pasado sa phase 3, pasado sa phase 4, pero nagka-komplikasyon.
Okay. I can only hope na yung phase 3...
Melo?
Yeah. Yes.
Melo? Siguro,
yes?
Siguro sa panahon ngayon, dahil na-appoint na yung sa panahon ngayon na na-appoint na yung ating logistics SAR, marahil ma-identify na natin ng mga areas, ma-identify na natin sino magde-deliver, mapa-plan out na yung time and motions study niyan. Ngayong ginagawa na yan, and then identify sino yung mga institutions o warehouses na mag-store yan. Gawin na ngayon lahat yan para pagdating ng bakuna, madali na ang distribution, identified lahat, at na-estima mo yung panahon na aabot dun sa mga areas of kasi pag sinabi mo 20%, 20% saan-saan, identify na natin. Na-identify na paano dadalhin yun doon, ano ang mga gagamitin, ano ang mga reefer vans sa gagamitin. No, nakaset up na tayo para pagdating, parang plug and play na lang yan eh.
Okay.
No? So everybody has a number, that will identify him, whether as a warehousing, a logistics company, or the administrator of the vaccines.
Okay, very good. I guess we still have the luxury of time. Jeanette, from your end, how do you look at it?
Tama ho yung sabi ni Sir Jess, tama din yung sabi ni Dr. Ted Herbosa. Again, the private sector already has the capabilities today that can be harnessed to support the government in the immunization program nga, sabi ni Dr. Ted. And while we're talking today about the brick and mortar of getting the vaccines to where it's needed and how it's going to be administered, there is also the component on the digital side. Kasi again, going back to the barcode, going back to the blockchain technology, it's giving the Filipino citizens the power to be able to check that the vaccine that is going to be administered to them is authentic. Yun ho yung isang, I think, important aspect to consider. Secondly, how do you track, for example, that the person that you're vaccinating is a priority? Because we have limited funds. If the government says I prioritize 20%, we need to make sure that it's really the 20% that's getting the vaccine the first time. And then how do you track that that first dose is followed by the second dose? Again, digital systems can help to enable this, and this solution is already available. The other thing, maybe medyo dreaming lang siguro, would be when you're going around, you're a regular citizen, you're going around, you've been vaccinated, wouldn't you also want to have that capability to check that the person that you're interacting with at the grocery, for example, also is safe, has been vaccinated, or has been tested with a COVID PCR test and is negative? So this person that you're interacting with is safe. That technology then is also already available. QR codes are already available that enables people to track that the person that they're interacting with is safe. Yun lang ho. That's my last point. And again, everything has been supported with the barcoding, the QR coding, and blockchain.
Yeah. Pero doon sa binanggit mo, Janet, mukhang ang pinaka-safe na lugar na pupuntahan, kung tama yung pagkakarinig ko kay Pangulong Duterte, sa mga kampo ng militar at sa kampo ng pulis, dahil prioridad niyang bakunahan yung mga yun eh. Di ba? Palagay ko ako noon, pag pumunta ako sa Camp Aguinaldo, sa Camp Crame, dahil yun ang unang babakunahan. Hindi ko lang alam kung kasama sa babakunahan yung mga NPA. Anyway, labas na tayo. Magtungo tayo kay Director Roy Abaya. Director, ano po ang gagawin ng Department of Agriculture for farmers to cope with the losses due to Typhoon Rolly? And what programs have you to assure them that we will have enough food supply in the market at hindi gasinong mataas ang presyo? Yung pong aking may bahay naluluha pag namamalengke dahil sa kada Sabado na namamalengke siya, nagbabago ang presyo. Sa wet market pa lang yan. Director Abaya, please.
Yes, Camilo. So tayo po naman ay nawawala. Basta ang audio ko. Okay lang? Napuputol. Oo. Paputol-putol eh. So, tulad ng binabanggit ni Secretary, mayroon po tayong mga naka-standby na mga assistant sa mga affected farmers. Una na po, mayroon tayong seed reserve sa palay, sa corn and other high-value crops na ready natin ipamimigay yon. Naka-preposition po yon. Lahat ng mga regional offices namin, mayroon silang mga stock noon. Mayroon din po tayo itong QRF. Mayroon pa tayong natitira 400 million na ito rin po ay pamimigay kung anong pangangailangan maliban doon sa mga seeds. Sa fisheries, mayroon din po silang mga stocks ng mga fingerlings, ng mga tilapia at saka bangos doon sa mga tinamaan ng mga fish pond o mga fish cages. And of course, yung sinabi natin kanina na mayroon din PCIC na on top of all these mga assistance, kung covered ka ng insurance, ready nilang ipamigay na ranging from 10,000 to 15,000 kada farmers, depende sa laki ng lupa nila. And yung Sure Aid, meron tayong sa ACPC, although ito ay utang, pero zero interest na payable in 3 to 5 years. So lahat po yan ay naka-ready, nakaabang na ipamimigay natin sa lahat ng affected farmers natin. Doon sa sinasabi naman na sa supply, I think nabanggit ko na nga kanina na yung rice talaga yung pinakamalaking tama. But it's a small portion lang doon sa naging overall target natin. And dahil projected natin na mayroon tayong surplus by the end of the year na it can last up to 100 days or more than 3 months, very minimal po yung naging effect nito. So we are assured na mayroon talaga tayong supply dito sa mga basic commodities, pati vegetable and corn. Lahat po yan ay mayroon tayong projected mga surplus. Yung mga presyo, totoo po yun, pero in some commodities, especially yata dito sa karne ng sa baboy ngayon, medyo tumataas. But I think yung sa other livestock naman, sa chicken naman yata is bumababa sila. So depende po yan. Talagang kulang kasi tayo ngayon sa baboy because of this African swine fever. So nagkakaroon ng supply, mababang supply. So medyo may kamahalan. So yun po. Basta ina-assure natin na we can, kung ano man yung mga kakulangan sa mga commodity, the department is assuring na talagang may pagkukunan tayo to enough supply para dito, lalo sa pagdating ng Kapaskuhan.
Yeah, Director, siguro unsolicited advice lang. Ngayon na may mga baha sa Bicol, sa Camarines Sur, medyo parochial ito, siguro tingnan nyo rin kung ano ba ang katuturan ng Bicol River Basin Development Program. Dahil sa matagal na yung Bicol River Basin na yan, pero kada bagyo, laging nauwi sa baha at pagkapinsala na taniman ng palay dyan sa Camarines Sur. No? Baka ma-request ko lang po yun. Ano?
Yes, sige Carmelo. Although this is beyond sa department na siguro, we can coordinate with public works and other agencies siguro. Talagang masolusyonan yung
pag-aralan natin
concern na yun.
Humingi na po ako ng datos sa NEDA, pero nada pa rin. Sayang. Anyway. Sorry for the typo. Marlo, sa McKinney, what can we expect? Meron bang hamon? May hotdog ba pagsapit ng Pasko? Ano ba? Yes, Marlo?
Siyempre po, hindi mawawala yan sa McKinney, no? Kailangan po nating i-continue pa rin yung operations natin para makasupport po sa food requirements ng ating mga consumers. We have a regular operations po. Yes, we have hams and other finished goods items available for our consumers. Ano po yan, sabihan lang po kami, and our distributors are spread all over the country for them to help us in the logistics requirements to reach out to our dealers and consumers.
Okay, very good. Siguro final word ng doktor natin bago tayo magtungo kay Jess. Doc, what's your advice? Yes, please. Teka, andali, naka-mute yata. Okay.
Ayan, nag-mute ako. Ayan, nag-unmute na ako.
Good, okay.
Sige, so huwag naman kayo matakot na hindi kayo masama sa 20 million. Kasi pag na-approve yan ng FDA, yan. Kaya kung ikaw ay may pera, pwede ka naman magpabakuna. Ang sinasabing 20 million ay siyempre yung mga mahihirap, yung mga doktor, nurse, frontliner, yung police at military. Yung NPA, siguro yung mga surrendery, bibigyan yan. Pagka nag-surrender sila ng arms, pwede sila bigyan ng health packages. Kasama yan sa peace process. So, bibigyan din yan. So, available. Ang importante, maraming vaccine candidate. Marami sila. So, pwedeng ang bilhin ng gobyerno, isang brand, pagkatapos may available na 3 or 4 others na available din at probably as effective. So, hindi naman 20 million lang ang mababakunahan, baka mas marami pa, lalo na kung maraming may gustong magpabakuna talaga. Yun.
Okay, maliwanag. Yes? Parting shot?
Naniniwala ako kung yung kaklasiko kasama sa na magbabalangkas ng immunization program, medyo makakatulog-tulog tayo ng mahimbing dahil strategic ang takbo ng utak niyan . Magaling yan . No? Kaya sa FDA naman sana, No, hindi ko pa rin maintindihan bakit nakamoratorium pa rin yung kanilang memorandum at hindi ini-implement yung product identification. No, sana mapalawig na nila ito, maumpisahan na at para yung maraming mga produkto na na-identify natin. At naririto kami sa GS1 o yung mga ahensya ng gobyerno tulad ng DA, handa kami magbigay ng seminar training kung paano nila ma-adapt ang isang sistema na makakabuti hindi lamang sa mga farmers kundi pati sa kanilang pamamalakad at sa kalakalan. Salamat.
Okay. Mga kaibigan, I'd like to thank Jess Varela for taking time out to be with us, si Jeanette Josalem, si Engineer at Director Roy Abayan ng Department of Agriculture, representing Secretary Willie Dar, who is in Legazpi today. Kaya si Director ang kanyang representative, si Marilu Olalia Uy ng McKinney Food Products, at yung guest natin nakasama, si Dr. Ted Herbosa. Sayang, hindi natin nakasama si Attorney Vic D. Magiba sapagkat nagkaproblema yung kanyang internet. But we will have him one of these days. Next Wednesday, we will talk about the mining industry under COVID-19. May patutunguhan pa ba yung industriya ng pagmimina matapos managasa ang COVID-19? Sa Lunes, doon naman sa tapatan sa Aristocrat, pagkukwentuhan natin yung isa sa pinakamahalagang sinabi ni Ariel Ureta nung martial law. Sa ikauunlad ng bayan, bisikleta ang kailangan. So may plugging na tayo. So yun ang pag-uusapan. Pagbibisikleta patungo sa opisina, pag-uwi sa bahay, at iba pa. Magandang umaga po. Maraming salamat sa pakikiisa sa Wednesday Roundtable at Lido sa mga nanood sa atin sa iba't ibang bahagi ng bansa hanggang sa Canada at Estados Unidos. Maraming salamat po. Till next time, God bless us all. Thank you very much. Keep safe. Thank you again.